And it. Quiet! Quiet! Hello and welcome to another episode of Making Fun. I'm Tavis Beam. The month of November is upon us and it is getting cold outside and the sun is starting to go down extra early. And I know that for me this can be kind of depressing. I like the sun being out late, I like to be active and out working. It's important for us to be really mindful during these dark, cold months that we create an environment in our home that is extra warm and inviting so that we don't spiral out. So for this month, we are going to be focusing on things that we can do in our house to create that warm, cozy environment. They have a word for this, and I cannot pronounce this word. Hyuga? And it is the intentional act of creating intimate, cozy environments that are warm and inviting. So this month we're going to be adding a few things to our home that's going to give it that little bit of extra warmth.
So in this episode I am going to build a farmhouse style side table that could go by a bed or a couch. First I draw out my plans so I know exactly how long I want to make each cut. Here I'm marking the legs at 22 inches and cutting them on my chop saw. On the ends of each crossbeam, I'm adding 2 holes for some pocket screws. Since this is made of 2x4, I had to cut some of the 2x4s down into 1.5 by 1.5 inch square lengths. There I actually used the edge of the 2x4 to measure the distance between the fence and the blade. I'm adding a little bit of glue to the ends of each of the cross beams and letting it dry. This is because they're going to be butting up against the legs and a lot of the glue will get sucked up by the fibers in the ends of the wood. So you can prevent this from happening by pre-gluing the ends and allowing them to dry, and it acts as a little cap. Then after that glue has a chance to dry, I set up all of my 3 pieces for one side, clamping it into place. And then coming in with my pocket screws. Using the first half as a template, I line up the second half in place, clamp it down again, and screw the second part together. And then I do the same thing for the 1.5 inch pieces. I'm going to cut another strip at 1.5 inches to make the classic farmhouse style X pattern. I cut a 45-degree angle on one end, stuck it in place, and then drew in where the second angle would be, so I could make sure that it fit absolutely perfectly. With both pieces in place, I mark where I'm going to make the notch so that the 2 pieces will interlock with each other. I've set my saw to half the thickness of the board and cut on the inside of both of the notch marks that I've made. Then I worked my way between the 2 notch marks until the whole area was clear. And then do the exact same thing on the second piece. And if everything goes right, it'll all notch together perfectly. Here I have 4 pieces of 5.5-inch wide pine board that I have lined up next to each other, and I am marking where I am going to put my holes for my pocket screws. I set the clamps to just larger than all the boards laying next to each other. Put glue on the edges of 3 of the boards. Clamp them in place. And then come in with my pocket screws. When I do this, you can see I'm getting beads of squeeze out of glue. So coming in with a damp cloth helps clean that up. And now I'm just giving the whole thing a once over with the sander. My boards were a little uneven, so I ran them through the table saw to square them up. And coming in with some wood filler to fill in the holes left behind by the pocket screws. Using a router is a nice way to give the tabletop a nice fancy edge. These boards will be on the bottom shelf, and I have to cut a small notch out of the bottom to fit at the base of the 2x4. After one last final sanding, I'm going to come in with some flat white exterior paint. And a nice contrasting dark walnut stain for the top. After that stain has had plenty of time to dry, I come in with a wipe-on polyurethane. After I glue all the boards in place, I come in with some finishing nails.
was fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of our content. Higa, Hyuga, Hyuga. Hello and welcome to another episode of Barking Fun. And the sun is... Hello and welcome to... These dogs. It's extra important for us in these months to be mindful of our... Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified whenever we post new content here. That was fun. That was fun. That was fun. That was fun.